Hello my lovelies, Rob here from Kickback Garage, obviously out in the wilderness, which is around my village. The reason why I'm outside today is that I thought I'd take you a walk around and we'll take a test ride of the, where are you? The Series 2 that I sorted out the last couple of weeks. This is going to get picked up by the owner in a couple of days, so I just have to make sure that there's no niggles or anything like that we have to sort out. Anyway, grab some coffee. I'll see you after the intro. The reason why I am keeping my helmet on is because I forgot the dead cat. It's the wind resistance. It's quite windy out here actually today. Quite windy, lad, and I can feel that on the scooter as well. I'll talk to you about more about how I think she rides in a little bit, but I just want to go through a couple of things that I quite like about this scooter. If you are going to buy a scooter, then there are a few details that I look for, which I like, and one of them. This is an older restoration. See, it's stood at a very acute angle. That's because we're stood on some stones here. But not just because of that. It does have a wonky stand. The stand itself actually makes it quite hard to push the scooter off the stand once you've got it running, which is a bit of a pain. So if this was my scooter, yep, I would definitely be fitting a new stand. The struts are nice and straight, so there's no problems there. It's actually the stand itself has had it's a bit out of shape. The things that I like to see, so if you are in the market for a Lambretta, this actually has some traits that I would look for when I would be buying one. The first thing is, although this is an older restoration, first off, I like the colour. I think the colour's quite nice, so that's nice, and it's been done quite well as well. This thing has almost been apart. It's not a full restoration, as I'd say, because even though these parts have been removed, you can see very often when people do like a quick restoration, you can see overspray on the rubbers and stuff here. So this has obviously been apart to a certain extent. The frame, when I welded up the frame is in the original colour. It also has in the toolbox, we'll have a look at that later, it has the original tools, it seems. I think the rubbers are original. I think these are probably reproduced, because normally the grips, they turn like a browny yellow colour when they're the original ones. Wow, it's windy, I hope you can hear me. But the thing is, this scooter has had some care and attention when it was first built. I'm not sure how long ago this was, but I like to look at things like painted back plates on the drum there. This has the strengthened back plate that isn't original to the scooter, so it's obviously been redone at some point. But that's really good. I like to see that they've thought about that. There's somebody actually knows what they're doing, has restored the scooter. The studs for the fork bolts. The fork bolts, very often when you see a shabby restoration, these things are painted, which is a very poor sign, or a very good sign, of the fact that they haven't changed the buffers, the springs or anything. And this is also a little telltale sign. Most of the kits that come with fork buffers now, they have stainless screws. You can see you've got stainless screws on there which aren't rusty, and there's a little bit of rust underneath. So yeah, I like that sort of thing I like to see. And this is obviously been built by someone who loves his scooter. He's put some care and attention to this. If you got like overspray, stuff like that, painted fork bolts, then I'm either thinking, I'm like, what else have they not been bothered to do with it once they've restored it? Now another thing, a detail I really like about this is the side panel. Got this like turquoise side panel. The footboard extensions, which are a real pain in the arse. I understand why they cut those. I'll tell you about that as well later on. You can see that the indentation on this footboard embelliger is the same colour as the side panel. So they have put some thought and detail into the way that they've sort of preserved the scooter. Now, the important thing is, if you are buying your first scooter, it's nice to see all those parts, but as you know, this engine was absolutely bag of shite, to put it mildly. If you're going to buy one, please try and give it a test ride, and find someone, join the local club, find somebody that knows their scooters, their Lambrettas and their Vespas, and actually get them to take it on a test ride, because a short test ride down the road can actually reveal quite a lot of dodgy things. It doesn't help getting receipts. Like the guy here, he's got like receipts for a lovely Imola kit, lots of nice shiny bits, but it doesn't help because the scooter is only as reliable as the last guy or lady that built it. Another detail I liked on this one is, let me see if I can get this seat up. This is actually an original Gilera seat off a TV 175, which is nice. They're quite comfortable, not for the long haul. But look here, it's got, I'm not sure if it's original, Replo. This is the petrol gauge, original type. I think I saw they sold these about 20 years ago, reproduced. They're really nice. And the nice thing about this one, compared to the one that I had about 15 years ago, is the fact that when you take it out, petrol doesn't run all over your scooter, which on mine it did. It was a real pain. Another thing I like detailed here is the craving. I asked the owner, this is a Repro. One thing I don't like about it though is I think the way that he's fastened it to the rear rack. It's so noisy. It makes this horrible noisy vibration, like that high-pitched vibration. I'm not sure why. I think I should really maybe take that off and put some rubbers or something underneath it. It'd drive me absolutely mad. And this is not that good. I think you know what I mean? Yeah, it's a bit. I hate stuff that vibrates. Before I before we go for a ride, let's have a look in here. Other side, I think. This is also a sign that the person who had this scooter before, the now owner, has bought this maybe off the original owner or something. This to me looks like, if you ask me, looks very much like an original toolkit. There's your stand. No idea what this is. This is off a motorbike or something. Original stand. These are original tools, I reckon. Which is actually quite a fun thing to have. You know, the spark plug on the Lambretta is notorious to get out without a correct type tool. And a little screwdriver. I don't think that's part of this kit either. But I think the experts out there would agree that it definitely, if it isn't, it definitely looks like the original toolkit. Just those small details, I like those. Know what I mean? It's got the wrong type rubbers on. It's got the wrong type rubbers on here, and I noticed as well when I took the scooter apart to change. There's actually quite a few original rubbers that I probably would have changed out here, and I did change out actually the side panel buffers because they were perish and just tied together with zip ties. Anyway, I think you'll agree. That's what I like about the LI 150, LI 150, LI 125. I like that. I like these because they tend not to have been tampered with. they're not really that much of an attractive model, so you'll find that the frame numbers and everything aren't tampered with, and it just gives you some much more honest scooter. Another thing that I noticed before I take the test ride is you can see there's some crackling on here. So at some point the headset top has been damaged, because this, I noticed when it had it off to do the electrics, it says RPE, API underneath, so this is Indian, and I think they've just it's aluminium, so you have to put a special coating of primer or something on here, otherwise you end up with this like the 80s crackle effect. So, and the reason why I like it the way that it is, I wouldn't touch it paint wise, to be honest, because it just makes it just a really usable and friendly, approachable scooter. Right, let's get on the road. I live in a lovely place, I reckon. Now that the engine is sorted, it's only a couple of prods of the kickstart and she starts up. One kick. One annoyance is that footboard extension really digs into your ankle. My ankle is really quite sore after it slipped off. Right, let's put her in gear really easy, go smoothly. I'm going to take her out on the open road. She pulls really nice. There's a couple of things that I notice. Let me just get up this. Ooh, doing a little bit of a wheel spin over there. So it pulls no problem. I've had her out for about half an hour and I need to get out on the open road, lad, before I start jabbering. This is a posh area. It's not far from where I live, but I live in the pool part. Goes some nice acceleration on this RT195. Should I run you through the specs if you didn't see the last video? Not everybody wants to watch the whole video. I need to put the tick over a little bit higher. Otherwise she dies. Let go of the clutch rope, there you go. Visor down. I can't say anything bad about the power, but it's really windy, and the ever so slightly scary thing about this scooter is I am just not used to riding on springs at the front without the shocks. It's a bit wallowy, and it also has, if it's not got the original shock on the back, it certainly has an original type shock on the back. And on the bumps we've got on this road, just feel that RT pulling in third, no probs. So, when I go over the bumps, it wallows half an hour afterwards. And, oh yeah, don't put it down a gear, put it up a gear. And it's a bit, it's tight, it's nice and tight, but it just feels a bit wallowy. It doesn't feel sporty, which is a shame, because the RT engine, even though it feels sort of original, it is a little bit sporty. I noticed when I was out earlier on it, it revs out quite nicely. Oh, what's that car doing? See if I can get out on the open road, lad. See if I can get a bit of a pull. Pulls really nice. And nice thing about this road here is it's up and down. This is how I break them in. Up and down. I can rev it out a bit, change gear. The cornering is not fantastic, I have to say. And I think actually most of that is because of the rear shock, not the front fork. A Wallery rear shock really does mess around with the handling of the front. So even though the engine is sprightly, the shocks just don't want to. So to the owner, I'm pretty sure he'll be watching this video with interest. Normally I bomb down this hill, and because of the way the shocks are, I'm sort of giving it the driving Miss Daisy approach. And you can see the flag there. It's quite windy as well, which doesn't help matters either. The gearing feels fine. The clutch is nicely adjusted, so I don't have to readjust that. Sometimes you find that the cables settle a little bit, and you might have to tighten them a little bit after the first couple of rides. But I've been lucky or skillful and got that adjusted in before I even went out for the test ride, which is nice. It goes way fast enough. Yeah. So what do I want to say to the owner? What would I do if this was my scooter? What would I do? I would definitely fit on a new rear shock, and the Repro original type ones can be quite expensive these days. So I reckon I'd probably go for a ProTech. Obviously, first on my list would be the Kickback Garage Tune BGM shock, and just see if that wallowing stops a bit, because what I think it's doing is the rear end is upsetting the fork somewhat, and it's got some undulations there because of the wallowy ass, because the engine definitely wants to be given a little bit more than I dared because of the handling. I certainly wouldn't be riding this really long distances, but it could be something you get used to. Ooh, it's really windy, and I feel that. So as soon as the wind hits the back end, I say it every time, I live in such a beautiful place. And this is also something I'd like normally whiz past, but it does have some bumps, and I can feel it as well. If I jump on the scooter, it takes about half an hour to settle down. So the shocks are absolutely really shock on the back is shagged. I think the main jet, it chugs along. It's quite peppy. I'm pretty sure it's the BGM V2, which does rev out a little bit more. It feels nice. Engine feels nice. Another little thing that I'm not a massive fan of is, I think I'll get onto a straight and I'll show you. I can do it here actually. Is the brakes. Back brake, full back brake. It slows, but you do have to do some planning. Maybe I could just tighten up that cable a bit and see if that helps, because it didn't look too bad back there, and has got the original asbestos pads on the back, I've changed the pads on the front. There's a bit of gravel in this corner. I really need sort of a straight stretch to see if I can see what the front brake is like. I don't want to lock it up on the gravel. Oh, there's a little. Let's just give the front brake a go. Yeah. It's got new pads. They obviously need breaking in, but definitely needs some planning to come to a standstill. I'm used to that on. I think they've been following me. And the speedo, by the way, I changed the speedo cable because he was hoping that would get the speedo to work, and it's completely dead. And I've got the correct speedo cable in there. This is an Indian, I imagine. I know it is Indian or Asian reproduction speedometer, and they are quite crap. And I do have the correct drive. This has got the fat drive on the top and fat drive on the bottom, a bit like a GP or a Series 3. You're not going to be emergency braking on this scooter, that's for sure. And the fact that this has had an inlet in, it must have been terrifying if that inlet actually went as it should do. You sort of get used to the Wallow, I have to say. Starting to get used to it, getting my confidence up a little bit. But that could catch me out as well, because if I ride faster than I can stop, you could get in all sorts of trouble. It feels really good. It feels sort of like an original scooter, but it does have a small sense of emergency. Nice. Yeah, I'm getting used to it. Thing is, that what I can feel in the corners is when the rear end wallows, it upsets the front wheel, so the tracking in the corners isn't brilliant. So I think that's what I'm feeling. Yep. Definitely do that, Mr. Owner. Change your rear shock. And I think you've got yourself a cracking little scooter here. Change the stand, change the shock. Depends what you're going to use it for. If you're going to put it around town, to the shops, back lane scratching at a reasonable tempo, it feels sweet. It's really, I'm really enjoying this, even with its quirks. In fact, maybe it's quirks what makes it enjoyable. Anyway, I think I'm gonna have to knock it on the head here because I'm getting carried away. But it's been a while since I've been out on a scooter of this caliber, and I have really enjoyed my day. I'm gonna go to a cafe. I'm gonna do at least 60 kilometers, 70 kilometers, and then I can deliver it back to the owner with confidence. Let's put it down, let's see what it does. Come on, up in the revs. Yeah, it's good. I just have to get used to, actually, the brakes aren't really that bad. It's just that I think my disc brake, I don't need a proper fistful of lever. On this one I have to really pull them, but it does stop as it showed in that corner there. Nice. And then I just have to, the brakes are actually okay. Just need to give them a little bit more input, let's put it that way. Right, I will love you and leave you and hopefully I'll see you all in the next video. And the next video actually is going to be about motorbikes. Might upset people, but I've also got quite a few scooter projects, including, for the winter that is, including 2 potential Vespers. I think a Rally 180 and my favourite model, GS 150. So don't forget to do the old subscribe. I pulls up this hill nicely. Don't forget to do the old subscribe. Give me the thumbs up. Press the bell, means you get notifications when my videos come out. Thanks for following. Thanks for supporting the channel by buying merch, buying me coffee. Super thanks to a few of as well. Really does help me finance the channel. And like I said, see you all in the next one. Ta-ra! Messing around with these cameras, batteries going flat.
Markerte det med regn, alle sprang I lag og ville komme under tak. Ingen av oss merket at du hadde falt ifra. Hvorfor valgte du å dra? Hvem I faen kunne se den komme? Da høsten tok over, sa vi hadde bra til oss.